say something's impossible, everything's been done, that just means everything's not been done. They just don't know.
They say if we build it, they will come. It's nice to have the ability to start small and to grow as the demand requires. Now we're able to build in a way that allows us to scale if what we've built is popular.
We are moving into AI-driven era where AI takes care of higher order activities.
Today's tools are allowing people to execute if they have the grit and determination.
People build what they can imagine.
Would you please welcome Vice President and Managing Director at AWS EMEA, Tanuja Randri.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning, and welcome to the AWS Summit Dubai 2025. It's so exciting to be here with so many of our customers, partners, and builders. And in true Emirati hospitality style, we have an incredible day planned for you. It's a day of immersion, a day of learning, Gen AI, data, cloud foundations, and of course, some very serious networking, I hope, as well. And thank you to everyone that is watching us on the live stream today. I'm Tanuja Randri, and it's my pleasure to be here with you today. We live in unprecedented times and limitless possibilities. Generative AI is probably the most transformative technology that we've seen in our times. And the capability of this technology to unleash growth in the global economy is incredible. The number that we have recently heard is $12 trillion of economic value. And in the Middle East, that represents $733 billion in economic value as well. And the speed at which things are moving today is unbelievable. This technology is being adopted by 5 businesses every single minute and is starting to outpace the uptake of the mobile phones in the 2000s. That's how unlimitless this technology is. And this speed could not be more palpable than in this particular region. With bold vision and commitment of you, the leaders of the Middle East, incredible vision, we, the UAE, Saudi 2030, and we're super excited to be here with you as you unleash $7 trillion of spending on public spending, citizen services, technology, and infrastructure. And these bold ambitions require a bold partner, a partner that brings you the deepest and broadest platform, a partner that thinks big, a partner that cares about climate, a partner that cares about people. We, AWS and Amazon, are deeply anchored here in the Middle East since 2017, and we're investing in your future. Since 2017, since Amazon acquired Souk, we've already launched 2 data center regions, the first in Bahrain, and then of course here in the UAE 2 years ago with a $5+ billion investment in our data centers, both in Abu Dhabi and here in Dubai. And you will have heard that we have launched and announced the launch of our Saudi region, which comes next year in 2026, another $5+ billion investment. And it doesn't stop there. I was super excited to be with the US UAE delegation last week, actually. I seem to be in Dubai a lot. And then as well in Saudi Arabia. And it was amazing to see these global CEOs coming here, attracted by the pull of this region, you and the investments that you're making in the global economy, and your desire to be a champion globally for AI. And I was very excited to announce 2 groundbreaking partnerships. The first with Humane, a national AI champion that's been created in Saudi, where we announced the launch of a first-of-its-kind AI zone, bringing our AI services when it launches to the region so we can help our customers in Saudi, in KSA, and the broader GCC. And the second here in the UAE, along with our incredible partners, EAND, who's sitting right here in front of me, and we will hear from them later today, we announced, along with the Cybersecurity Council, and my huge thanks to His Excellency Dr. Al-Kuwaiti for endorsing our UAE Sovereign Launchpad. This is incredible, I know. It's been a lot of hard work of our teams, but we're very, very excited because what it does is it takes our sovereign by design and actually allows us to scale the service that we provide to government and highly regulated industry, along with EAN's deep capabilities and knowledge of this region. So we're not going to stop here, but we're super, super excited to have announced those. Now, these investments are not about infrastructure at the end of the day. They're actually about transformation. I mentioned generative AI. I'm going to mention it again, and you're probably going to hear about it the whole day. But Gen AI has the capability of transforming every single customer experience like we've never seen it before. And it has the capability of creating new customer experiences that we've only fantasized about. That is the power, from productivity on the one hand to changing the game on climate and changing the game in healthcare and moving citizens' lives for better. That's what we believe in as well. Now, when we think about generative AI and bringing this technology to you and democratizing the access of this technology for you, as we did with the cloud, we think very carefully about choice. Choice is important. There is no one model that will solve your problems. The other thing that's very important is security. You don't want your data leaving your secure environment, right? You want to be able to use these models. You want to fine-tune, but you want your data safe. And then the third thing, well, cost. You need a very low-cost infrastructure, but highly performant infrastructure. Well, that is AWS's approach to generative AI. It's unique, it's secure, it has choice, it gives you cost, it gives you performance, and it's called Amazon Bedrock. And I am really excited to tell you that Amazon Bedrock will be coming soon to the UAE region in H2. And in keeping with choice and really bringing Made in the UAE to the global stage, I'm very proud today to announce our partnership with ATRC, Advanced Technology Research Council, along with TII, Technology Innovation Institute, and AI71. We will be bringing the Falcon models that have been trained on SageMaker to global distribution through our Amazon Bedrock marketplace. Falcon will be available soon on our Amazon Bedrock marketplace, and we look forward to working with Dr. Najwa and her team. She will be here, by the way, on a fireside chat with Werner Vogels. Don't miss it. And then we'll be working super closely with Chiara and the team of AI71 to bring their incredible enterprise use cases and solutions along with our Bedrock and compute capacity to you to make sure that you can transform your businesses and reinvent your businesses and scale globally on the world stage. Now, we have thousands of customers in this region. Many of these brands you're going to recognize very well, and I thank you for your sponsorship and partnership and being with us. We're only just getting started. I'm going to take 2 really quick examples for you. First, Abu Dhabi Bank, who you all know, have been revolutionizing banking. They are using AWS Outposts, our data and cloud solutions, and they have been able to increase their productivity by 60% and reduce their time to market by 50%. Incredible scalability and performance from the cloud. And another one that you all know, I'm sure, is Cafu, innovating the fuel industry. No more trips to the petrol station. The petrol comes to you, and guess what? Built natively, all in AWS in the cloud, from the mobile app to the data warehouse foundation. So 2 incredible visionary CEOs, and I'm very happy and proud to be serving them. There is no transformation, though, with just technology. The biggest single blocker that we have for this technology to be embraced is skills. And we know that 43% of businesses in this region say they do not have the skills to be able to transform their companies. We are deeply committed and passionate about skills. We committed to training 29 million learners around the world for absolutely free by 2025, and we have trained 31 million learners around the world for absolutely free. And in this region, we have already trained 150,000 people through our academy programs. In Saudi Arabia, our Women's Initiative program, and of course, a number of skill builder programs and AI learning courses that you can take online, as well as using things like the games that we've delivered so that you can get familiar. Training is key. Without this, without the talent, without the mindset, without this, we're not going to be successful. So let's all lean in to go train. So the time is now. The technology is around us. We're all investing. You're investing. We're a partner here for the very, very long term, deeply committed to the Middle East. And speed is right here in front of us, a leadership choice that I know you will all make. I'd like to thank all our partners for making this summit incredibly possible. Without them, we could not be here. And with that, I would love to welcome on stage Hatem Dawidar, Group CEO of EAN, who will come share his story with us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Hatem and I are going to spend a few minutes talking about this incredible partnership that we came up with last year. I think it was a labor of love, I think, between our teams. But let me just do a quick introduction about Hatem. You probably all know him, but he joined in 2015 and became Group CEO of EAN in 2020. He's leading a global transformation, moving EAN to becoming a global technology player. Very excited about the recent acquisitions out in Central Eastern Europe. And prior to this was Group Chief of Staff of Vodafone Group in London, and is a top 100 CEO, and many other accolades I couldn't possibly even mention, but also a very good friend and a great partner. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Tanuja, for the nice words.
Now, we've been talking about this incredible partnership we've built, but I'd love to a little bit hear from you on why and how this enables the transformation journey that you're on and for our customers.
So a big part of our transformation is to move beyond being a transmission, beyond being a pipe, to serve our customers better. And there are many technologies in the adjacencies that we need. And of course, one of the major technologies that have evolved over the last few years is cloud. So as everybody is moving from legacy servers at the office to cloud environment for many reasons, speed, latency, but very importantly, security, this business has started to evolve. And of course, while we say we are a technology company and we have transformed to become one, we cannot invent everything. So we need to work with partners. And of course, when it comes to cloud environment, AWS is the force to reckon with, and therefore was it great to build this partnership together to be able to serve the community in the UAE, our home market, but also in the 20 other markets where we operate in telecoms.
Thank you, and I didn't tell him to say that, by the way. But I'd love to talk a little bit about sovereignty, because our teams have been working super closely together with the CSC to be able to launch the UAE Sovereign Launchpad. Your perspective on the Launchpad and why this will make the additional sort of difference in terms of sovereignty and security?
I think one of the key things that have evolved over the past, let's say, few years is data sovereignty and data residency, is where does the data stay? And of course, it's very important that countries have preserved the data, especially of critical industries, especially with privacy concerns for customers of different industries, especially things like that are regulated, like telecom companies, like banks, health records, and so on.
Yeah.
We were very happy when AWS established the UAE region in 2022, but still we needed to create that stamp of data sovereignty, which we have finally, after working together between EA and AWS and the Cybersecurity Council, we were able to prove that we fit the criteria to have that sovereign launchpad, which allows us to bring a lot of companies that today are still working with legacy, keeping their information either on-prem or in some cases in a private cloud, that they can come to a much more versatile solution that allows a lot of scaling, allows a lot of tools, and in an environment where AI is becoming key, be able to access the latest tools. So we are very, very happy that we have got this now approved, and our team is working with AWS, and now with a lot of our customers are engaging to see how we can help them very fast migrate to this new sovereign launchpad.
You mentioned something really important, I think. I think that what we do see is that, I always say this, only 10 to 15% of workloads have actually migrated to the cloud. And you wouldn't believe that, but that is true. And so if I think about the on-premises states, but also with AI, you're right, the scalability and the power that you need and the latency performance that you require really does make the cloud environment even more important, and the data foundations in particular. So I'd love to pick up a little bit as well on your thoughts about, kind of skills, because it is an area that is a massive problem, to be honest, and I'd love to hear what maybe you're doing at EAND, but also what we could be doing more together.
I think we're working on two steps. One is upskilling our own workforce, so getting everyone to understand more about cloud and AI. We have, for example, implemented in the first half of the year a program for the entire workforce, 18 hours of study time on AI to really bring them up to speed.
That is great.
And at the moment, about 40% of our workforce have already finished. But what we are doing together, and part of the agreement we have, is training 60,000 young people, most of them Emiratis, or many of them Emiratis, to bring them the skill set that they need to utilize the power that we can bring with the cloud. And this is crucial because we want to move from just being consumers of apps and technologies to also use this as a platform to develop and create innovation.
And I like that you said skilling and upskilling, because it's not just the young people that we need to train, but we also need to train ourselves every single day.
Totally.
Could I put you on the spot and ask you whether you're using the AI technologies yourself, by the way, and how you're using that? Is there one example that you want to give folks in the audience?
Look, I mean, I use it, and I have to say I'm always fascinated by it. I think the last, very interesting thing I've done, I was doing my regular medical checks, and I got 18 pages of,
notes.
kind of numbers and ranges and so on. And some of them looked, good. A couple of numbers didn't look so good. So what I did is I uploaded the entire page without the commentary to one of the models. I will not say so. I will not advertise for who it was. I uploaded the entire thing and asked it to comment on it. And actually, I love the structure because it said, these are the observations, and these could be the underlying causes for this. And then gave me not only a conclusion, but an action plan how to fix the couple of numbers that didn't look that good on the thing. So it's amazing, because this is something that was explained in a way better than, I hope I don't offend any doctors that are in the room, but it's a lot more structured than most of the reports, you know, the 1 line or 2 lines you get at the end of a medical report. And it gave a lot of actions, a lot of things. And then I found that 2 of the numbers that I didn't like, I asked the model, are these numbers correlated? And then it told me, no, they're not correlated at all. But here are a list of things that can affect both of these numbers, and maybe you should look at that. I mean, it's amazing how, you know, AI will change everything, whether it's healthcare, whether it's the way we do business, whether also students, how they study and how they get together in, you know, developing their projects, their thesis in university and so on.
I think that's great. I've certainly been using it myself, you know, in terms of just capturing meeting notes. It saves me 30 minutes after every single meeting. You add that up in your day, all you leaders, and it's incredible. So I hope all of you will use it, and I hope you will use Amazon Bedrock, right? So it gives you access to these models. Maybe with the time we've got, I have one other question for you, Hatem. We're also working very closely together to help EAND leverage the cloud actually to drive transformation. And maybe I'd love your advice to leaders in the room. As you think about transforming your organization, what 1 or 2 tips do you have with regard to really leaning into this technology?
Look, I think that today, and again, let's look at today to be having any technology in the cloud. You need energy, which we have here in the UAE. You need connectivity, and we have the best connectivity in the world, actually. We've been, for years, having the highest fiber penetration in the world and the fastest 5G network in the world here in the UAE. And you need, at the end, the data center, the operating system of the cloud, which AWS has been leading on. So getting all these things together can create a winning formula. For us, as a telco, we do a lot of things. I mean, we're migrating our billing from being based on servers to become cloud billing. It becomes much faster, much easier for the customers to access and therefore upgrade their products, change their packages, and so on. And then we have also a lot of businesses that are cloud native, and they are using AWS. So for example, as you know, as part of our diversification into technology group, part of the family is Kareem Super App, or Kareem Everything App. And Kareem is using AWS and is continuing to use it as it's growing in all the areas from food delivery to groceries, and of course working with Uber on ride hailing and so on. Stars Play, which is again a leading entertainment platform. It's all about streaming, it's all about cloud, and again, it's using AWS. So already a lot of our core services are with AWS, and I think over time, we'll have more and more of them.
That's marvelous. It's been really great partnering with your team, Hatem. And I think maybe, you know, for the UAE, one last point, you know, what gets you really out of bed every morning? Like, what gets you super excited about what we can together do, particularly now with this additional level of data sovereignty that we have been awarded?
I think this is a time where the world is changing again. And I said that in your keynote. This is another, you know, Eureka moment for the world. So similar to the personal computer when it came into existence. And actually, I'm of the age where I was there when when we finally, you can have a personal computer at home, and that was amazing. With AI, this is another Eureka moment. This is another change of the way we do business. And it's great to see the UAE, to see GCC overall, taking a leading role. So we're not just sitting in the back seat. We are sitting in the front seat, utilizing the latest technologies, building global leading data centers that will not only be for consumption, but for innovation as well. And as you've shown, some of the people that are here today, some of the latest speakers are talking about creating services, creating large language models, creating innovation based on these that makes this region at the forefront of the technology. And I think it's a time where we will see, a change of the dynamics of the world, where we can see here from this part of the world that innovation, AI is taking also a new home here.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hatem Daridar, Group CEO of EANS.
Thank you.
And with that, I'm very, very excited. I think that the key message here is start building, because the cloud is here, the partnership is here, and we're here for you. With that, I'd love to welcome on stage, thank you so much, Hatem. I'd love to welcome on stage, and it's really my honor and privilege to do this, to welcome Werner Vogels, Group CTO of Amazon, to speak about the AI experience that Amazon themselves have been going through. Welcome, Werner.
Thank you. Good morning, Dubai. Your Excellencies, honored guests, thank you. Actually, I've been asked to talk today not about AWS. That's a bit strange, of course, at an AWS summit. But here, I'm actually here today as one of the parts of my job is, of course, that I'm the CTO of Amazon, the retailer. So I've been asked to talk to you a bit about how does Amazon use AI? That kind of thing? And I go like, I don't know. I don't know how many of you here have bought something at Amazon in the past 25 years. Is there anybody that has not done that? Can I talk to you later? Actually, if you've been using Amazon for the past 25 years, you have been using AI for the past 25 years. We just didn't call it like that. Yeah. If you think about Amazon, Amazon is actually, go back to 1994 when Jeff thought about Amazon. He didn't want to start a bookshop. What Jeff really wanted to do, he was obsessed by the internet. By the way, this is 1994. I mean, long time ago. E-commerce didn't exist. The word e-commerce didn't exist. So anything that we had to do with Amazon, we had to make it up ourselves. We had to build it. There was no commercial technology or anything like that. So in essence, Amazon has been built by computer scientists. Now, I didn't believe that 25 years ago. Oh, actually, I've been Amazon CTO now for a bit more than 20 years. And when they asked me to come give a talk before I was an Amazon employee, to come and give a talk at Amazon, and I go like, Amazon? It's a bookshop. How hard can that be? You know, web server, database, done. I did go. One glimpse in Amazon's kitchen, and I started to realize that this is one of the most innovative technology companies that I had ever encountered in my life. Anything that they needed to do, they needed to invent. Now, that was quite special, and indeed, the core of Amazon is that it's built by computer scientists. Now, if you think about AI, yeah, this is all over. And you know all of that because you've been exposed to it. It's just behind the scenes, it looks very different. Yeah, just think about anything. Retail, customer engagement, catalog management, forecasting, all of those kind of things are all driven by technology. Actually, it's all driven by AI. And why is that? Why don't we talk about it as if it is AI? The coin AI is first termed in 1956 at a workshop in Dartmouth in the US. And two of the probably most important people there at that workshop are Minsky and McCarthy. And this famous McCarthy quote is really important. As soon as it works, we don't call it AI anymore. I don't know whether you can flip that around. If it doesn't work, we'll call it AI. Sorry. Yeah. But it's very important to realize that almost anything that you'll encounter today at Amazon Retail is driven by AI. Now, AI is, first of all, AI is this magic word. Yeah? But in essence, AI is just a tool. It's all about data. Because without data, AI is just technology. Doesn't help you. Data is the part that has really grown so much over the years that we as humans can no longer type a query in to find what we're looking for. We need help, and that's AI. Often I call this, okay, so we have all this data, and you should consider that to be a haystack. Yeah, the famous, and there's a needle in the haystack. How do you find that needle? With a magnet, of course. Yeah? Machine learning and AI are the magnets of finding the pots of gold in the big, massive amounts of data that we by now all have. So let's run a bit through how this happens at Amazon. Of course, product discovery is absolutely important. It's all about you. How can our customers, in the best way, find what they're looking for? Especially if there are well over 300 million products in your catalog. Yeah? There's also well over 200 million customers, all with their different preferences. Yeah? And on a daily basis. We deliver the same day or next day 9 billion packages. As you can imagine, we as humans can no longer manage this. We can no longer manage the data that actually goes with it. And especially if you think about product delivery, I want to go back to a book quite a long time ago. It's called The Paradox of Choice. So, what actually Barry Schwartz here meant is that imagine you go to the pharmacy. You go buy some toothpaste. And there's only 3 brands of toothpaste. And you know what? You always buy the same toothpaste, so you pick it and you're happy. Next time you come into the pharmacy, there's 50 different toothpastes. You still buy the same one, but now you have this nagging story in your head. Is this the right one? Should it be better? So one of the most important parts of helping customers find products on Amazon, if you have well over 400 million products in your catalog, is to help them limit the choice that they have to exactly that what they're looking for. Such that if they buy that product, they actually are happy with that choice. And that's most important. Let's look at a few things. You think about product search these days. It's no longer typing things in. You take a picture of something and we tell you what you can buy or where you can buy it. Or what are the other choices? Reviews have turned out to be one of the most important inventions that Amazon has done. And I remember that in Jeff's office, there was a letter from publishers. He had it on the wall. Because the moment that we started doing reviews, he started to get angry letters from publishers going like, don't you want to sell books? These negatives, these reviews are negative. People won't buy this book. And then you go like, well, maybe they shouldn't. Yeah? It's about helping your customers find the right products to buy, even if that means not buying some products. It's about the long-term engagement with your customer, not about making your shareholders the most happiest one in this quarter. Now, whether that is about recommendations, similarities, customers who bought X, bought Y, all these kind of things that you've been exposed to in the past were already AI. We just didn't call it like that. And if you think about the recommendation algorithm, I mean, we started it off in 1998, different technology then, of course. And in 2014, we really went deep into the neural networks and all the other technology that was associated with that. Now, with a whole new types of AI, you can actually have a conversation about it. You can say something like, hey, my 9-year-old daughter, who really loves X, Y, or Z, has a birthday 2 weeks from now, and I really want, just describe what you want, how you would normally express that to maybe a store clerk. Rufus will give you a whole bunch of suggestions, not only just what to do, what products to buy, but maybe what kind of party to give around it. So Rufus is really important because this is a new way of engaging with technology. And it's not only about helping you find and buy what you want, it is also helping you, protecting you. Last year alone, we removed 15 million counterfeit products from our site. This is a continuous battle, and AI is crucial in all of that. And it's actually not only about sort of these products, the counterfeit products, but also we need to protect our customers from any other fraudulent operation. And of course, we sit on billions and billions and billions of orders from the past. Of course, we can create a model out of that, that if a new order comes in, we can run it through this model, and it will tell us whether or what's the likelihood is that this is also a fraudulent order. We don't automatically discard that. AI predicts, we, humans, make decisions. Yeah, so if this fraud detection mechanism raises a sort of an alarm, it's still humans looking at it and investigating it. And so that's helping our customers. Now let's take a little bit a look at the back end of all of this. What's happening inside Amazon.com? And of course, supply chain is a crucial part of that. Many of you in your companies, you also have supply chains. Of course, we have this little problem that it is at an unparalleled scale. Yeah? And also, unparalleled number of different opportunities to get these packages to you. Now, the back-end supply chain, in my eyes, also has 4 components. Yeah? Figuring out what should we offer to our customers. Then trying to figure out who should we buy that from. Then, where should we place it? Remember, 175 fulfillment centers around the world. And how can we make sure that if we deliver, that our guarantees on delivery are actually met? Now, there is always a bit of complexity in this particular world. In this case, prices aren't stable. And price is a very important indicator, of course, a very important motivator for customers to buy things. Things that you might see is that maybe your favorite TV brand brings out a new TV in about a month. Before that month, probably you'll see prices dropping. Yeah, so it's price elasticity, you know, some things don't sell at all or slow. And indeed, believe me, pickle tasting lip balm is not the most favorite thing that people buy at Amazon. However, yeah, and some things are regional. Yeah? I'm pretty sure, yeah, there are no really, really hot jumpers that you wear here, at least not today. Yeah? So there's regional things as well. And then not even to think about new products. How many of them do you buy? Where do you buy them from? Where? Seasonal products as well. So this forecasting of where products need to go is massively complicated. Fortunately, we sit on a lot of history. We can build models out of that, and that one can help us. Yeah? And so, if you look at that, we've been doing this for a while. Yeah? And so, currently, what you'll see is most of this is still running by MQ transformers, new foundational models that we've built internally at Amazon, all helping us in our supply chain. Yeah, and if you think about these 175 and the guarantees that you want to give to your customers, where are you going to place these products? This is no longer one person behind a desk that sends it somewhere. No, all of this is based on data. Now, if you think about that, sort of three different things. Yeah? Picking in a fulfillment center. Sorry, didn't give you the context. Picking means getting stuff off the shelf. Yeah? Sorting means sending it in a way such that it can be delivered to your customer, and then transporting. Yeah? Most of this we've automated over time. Yeah? We now have 750,000 robots running around our fulfillment centers, helping our workers there stay more safe and then delivering to them. By the way, robots, 100% AI. We just call it robotics, but it still is AI. Yeah, here's a few of those. Vulkan is an interesting one. That's a new one, which actually has sensitivity in its grabs. And so it can handle very, very delicate materials. Prometheus is probably one of the older ones that we have. Yeah, that one just moves these big shelves around. In the early days, I don't know if you've ever seen a photo of an Amazon fulfillment center, but it's multiple football fields wide. And the people that worked there, that were the pickers, they hated their job. Why? Because you easily work 10 to 15 kilometers a day with a shopping bag, yeah, going through shelves, putting things in there, then bringing it to another place where it could actually be handled. Prometheus brings the shelves to you. You no longer walk through a fulfillment center. Yeah, and of course, it's not just, if you have 750,000 robots running around, it's not one type of robot. Many different robots. So how do we make sure that these robots are so autonomous that they're not running against each other? How can we do experiments? How can we build new technology? We collect all the data of the robots that are running around, just store it, so that we can have our next generation of robots learn from that. Yeah, and then we get to the point, okay, I have at least, you've all got an Amazon box with a very small thing in it, but the box was like that. Yeah, I still think it's embarrassing. But it's very hard to figure out, for all of these kind of packages, what's the right thing. Again, AI helps us with that. Yeah? We have something called Amazon's Decision Packaging Engine. And that means that AI looks at all sorts of information about this particular product, about your order, and then figures out how to best package it. Yeah? Or, of course, the things end up, and especially with third parties storing your products in your data centers, in your fulfillment centers, you have to be sure that, for example, these products are not expired or damaged or anything like that. For that, again, we use AI. And then probably one of the hardest parts of anything, delivery. Last mile delivery of products is easily 50% of the cost. So again, this is one of these areas where, based on a lot of data, we can start making these plans how to do intelligent route optimization. This is essential in retail. And why? If 50% of your cost are the last mile, and I don't know about who of you is in retail, but in general, our margins are razor thin. Yeah? Any mistakes made in delivery of these packages, definitely in the beginning, we had a lot of problem with that, because there were these older drivers, and they would see where they needed to go, and they would say, yeah, that's what AI tells me. I know better. Yeah? Oh, believe me. So I know better. So we needed to get away from that, because this one is the one that actually helps us mostly, the intelligent route planning, how to get our packages to our customers at the right speed. Another innovation. This is something which I think you will see more and more and more when you rent a car at an airport. Now, we walk around the car with our phones and we take pictures to make sure that when we deliver it, that we don't get charged for anything. That's a machinery. You drive the car in, 5 seconds later, 50 photos have been taken of your car, drive it out. Comes back, you drive it in again, and it will tell you exactly what kind of damage done. Why are we still doing this ourselves? So I hope that that's technology that we'll see more and more. Primaire, that's how we get them. And you think about drones, all these areas where drones are being used today. Drones don't have pilots, they need to know where to go. They also need to know what to avoid. Avoids are all the flying obstacles in the air. Avoids are the little doggy in the backyard there where you can't land on top of. So all of this, again, AI. And we've developed technologies that other people are using. Scanning your palm as an identity mechanism. I don't know if you know Ring, but sort of searching for video using just text. I like this one. This is, I don't know if you've ever seen the new Kindles, the Scribes, where you can actually make notes and things like that. I have a horrible handwriting. AI helps make sense of that. Actually, really, that one works really, really well. I know that for sure. Of course, we are not necessarily, as Amazon retailer, AWS's biggest customer, but we are a very loud and annoying one. Because we have very, very particular requirements. And we'll talk to you about 2 of these. First of all, we want to have, if everything behind Amazon is AI, then AI is also our biggest cost factor. So we need to drive that down. And then all these stories about models. I mean, it's overwhelming. The past week, 5 new models appeared from the biggest players. We now have thousands of these models. How do our engineers pick them? How do you pick them? By experimenting. Let me first talk a little bit, because it's not only about cost. If we want to integrate more and more and more of these digital technologies in our daily lives, it needs not to cost the earth. And in this particular case, Amazon is the largest buyer of renewable energy in the world. 100% of the energy that we're using already now is net zero. And we actually are involved in well over 600 projects around the world. Wind farms, solar farms, geothermal, anything we can get our hands on. Because we believe that with success and scale comes broad responsibility. And most importantly in that are these 2 chips, Trainium and Inferentia. These will drive your AI costs down by training at least 50%. Or this 4 times faster training, and Inferentia drives the cost down half. This is important. And it's a bit like this, training is costly because it takes months. But if this is a really good model, you'll be using it for years. So driving the cost down over time is important. You need to know exactly this. Let's say take Rufus, the language search engine into Amazon's product. We need to know exactly how much each query is going to cost. It can't cost $10 to find a product of $1. So total control over cost is important. And these 2 chips help there. Now, models. And I think Tanuja already talked a bit about Bedrock. But my important part of Bedrock is that you have an opportunity to experiment, to try and figure out, do you really need this massive context window? Do you really need a 700 billion parameter model? Or maybe a 7 billion one? Or most importantly, Falcon plays a role in that, of course, as well, but culturally aware LLMs. And what I mean by that is that currently the biggest models come from US companies, honestly. Yeah? And that means that inside these models, yeah, Western culture in the language, it's not just a matter of language, it's what's embedded in that language. And as such, all the models that have been built, for example, here in the UAE, or in Saudi, or anywhere, are crucial. Yeah? There's a model called Sea Lion done by AWS plus the people in Singapore on the 11 languages in Southeast Asia. Korea, Japan, all of them are building their own models, which gives you an opportunity in Bedrock to get access to exactly those models that exactly meet your needs. And it's not just about language and things like that. Cost plays an important role as well. How much does this one query cost me? So that I can make solid decisions about all of that. Yeah? Now, for us, this is the most important part. Yeah? We want to make sure that you have all the choice. And by the way, education is important. Go out, find the different labs that are out there. And let me see, which rooms they were in. And I forgot, sorry. wrong note. And lots of opportunity for education today. Yeah? And what I think is that also start talking to each other. Because many of you have very interesting stories to tell about the use of AWS technology. And not all those examples are obvious. Think about an airline. Think about the HR department of that airline. It's not the first thing in your head that comes up that says, oh, innovators. But I'm going to introduce to you someone now, the Executive Vice President of HR of Emirates Airlines, Oliver Groman, who are going to talk to you about how they are innovating using spatial computing and AI. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to share something which went live last week, so it's hot off the press. When you hear onboarding and Emirates, I'm sure you think about the millions of passengers who board our aircrafts every single day. But today, I want to talk about onboarding of employees. We, as Emirates, we have a very critical moment to work on every single day. When you as a passenger board our aircraft and our amazing cabin crew welcomes you with this bright smile and makes you welcome and makes you home, this is a critical moment of truth. And so is the first day of an employee, because there's no second chance for a first impression. We are Emirates, the airline, you know us. But we are more than an airline. We connect people, places, and opportunities. And we are significantly contributing to the overall success of Dubai. Our people work hard to create exceptional experiences for our customers, for our partners, but also for our employees. Today, we have more than 121,000 employees. Last year, we received more than 3.7 million applications. But what is much more important is, over the next few years, we will recruit thousands and thousands of people because we are growing. We have several hundred aircrafts on order. Dubai will build Al Maktoum International Airport, the biggest airport in the world. The unique situation for us is that we recruit the majority of our people from all over the world. If you look at the last 12 months, almost 70% of our new joiners moved to Dubai, to the UAE, from all over the world, from their respective home countries. What does that mean? There's a lot of anxiety, uncertainty before the people join. That's something we have to work on. So why is onboarding such a critical thing? Emirates is big, we are complex, we have very unique processes, unique systems, unique tools, and a unique culture. Traditional onboarding often was insufficient to make sure that the people are up to speed quick enough, that they understand our processes, our tools. Also, our traditional onboarding was also technical, checklists, emails, ad hoc phone calls. What was lacking was an experience. What we really want is connection, confidence, and momentum when they join us. So what did we do? We went back to the drawing board and we reimagined how onboarding should look like today and in the future. And the result is Mira, our immersive, extended virtual reality platform built in the cloud and grounded in human experience. Mira offers a single digital environment where employees can onboard, learn, and grow, no matter what they do, no matter where they are in the world. To bring this vision to life, we needed a strong partner, somebody who could deliver at scale. AWS provided the cloud infrastructure, the reliability, and the innovation that we needed to make Mira a reality. Together, we created this virtual reality platform, which is not only immersive, but scalable, which will evolve with the growth of our company and Dubai. What makes Mira stand out? We wanted something that matches the Emirates standard. So we have unmatched visual fidelity, real-time analytics for continuous improvement, universal access 24/7 from any device, especially from mobile phones of the new joiners. And also, more important, multi-user functionality for cross-functional collaboration and real-time solutions for our onboarding, effective onboarding, but also for other features which we will add to the platform later on. So let me now show you a few snippets how onboarding on Mira will look like. It starts with something simple. You create your own avatar. It's simple, but it sets the tone. It's personal, it's interactive, and it's built around the new joiner. The new joiner will then receive the golden Emirates ticket, a moment of pride and excitement, which I'm sure many of them will post on social media. Then the new joiner will join our virtual Emirates Global Hub, a virtual space where they meet other colleagues, new joiners, and reduce this anxiety. People will then join the live online sessions in their respective time zone with our onboarding teams. They will complete formalities, they will answer questions, and they will be able to interact with peers. But we also want people to understand how does it look like living in Dubai. Remember, they move from their home countries here. How do I live? How do schools look like? How do medical facilities look like? But also, how do these amazing hotspots look like, for example, the fountain show in front of Burj Khalifa. As you know, this is currently under construction, and we will have to rebuild this part, but this is Dubai. We always have to stay agile. What we have done is we moved this day one to a much earlier part, when the candidate or the new joiner is still in his or her home country, and we take away the anxiety. We engage with them in this immersive space, and we make sure that we work on all the formalities so that the new joiner is up to speed and ready to run when they arrive here in Dubai. So Mira turns passive onboarding into active collaboration, isolation into early connection, and uncertainty into confident momentum. That's what we want. What are the benefits of Mira? there are intangible and tangible benefits. Both of them are very important. We want early familiarization with Dubai, but also with Emirates and our different departments. Strong connections, reduce this anxiety, and let the people catch up with peers and our coordinators, and overall enhance engagement. But there are also very tangible benefits, like fewer emails, faster processes, efficiency gains all over, but most important, this platform is scalable, because we will leverage this platform for many other processes, and we have a long queue of that. So for obvious reasons, we want to improve the employee experience, but I also have to make sure that we improve the effectiveness and the efficiency of our HR processes. This is why Mira will be a win-win and make sure that we contribute to the future success of Emirates. I'm not here to do marketing for AWS. I think this summit is marketing enough. I want to share an authentic update about the project. Our relationship with AWS started more than 7 years ago when we worked on the Emirates.com website and the engine you're all using when you book Emirates flights. In 2022, we started to explore metaverse technology, and we funneled down different ideas before we scoped Mira. AWS developed the overall solution with a key metaverse provider called Metaverse, which was really the foundation for this innovative experience. But we also needed the foundations, scale and security, which are extremely important for us as Emirates. Using AWS professional services, we were able to build an enterprise-ready metaverse platform that can be used by thousands. But we also have the technology like game-lift streams to render 3D images in the cloud, to GPU-accelerated instances right here in the UAE. I don't have to tell all of you, innovation is high risk and high failure, and I think this is real innovation. I'm not aware of any other company that does onboarding of their employees in this environment, in this immersive environment at such a global scale. Our team, and I'm really proud to stand here today, our Emirates IT team, our Emirates HR team, AWS, and the entire ecosystem, all the partners, we went through some rough times because, again, innovation is not easy. But we always kept up the communication, gave honest feedback, and we always believed that we can build something new and something big. And I'm really grateful for all the contribution and proud that we stand here today. So let me tell you, onboarding on Mira is just the beginning. We have built a platform that adapts and is scalable. I'm sure that this innovative approach is just the beginning, and we will shape a culture of collaboration, continuous learning, and future readiness across the Emirates Group. Jointly with AWS, we didn't just digitize the onboarding, but we completely reimagined how we attract and engage our people from the moment they say yes. Let me finish with that. Many of you will have seen this ad where a cabin crew stands on top of Burj Khalifa. Every new joiner with his or her avatar will have the opportunity to stand up there on top of Burj Khalifa and share this very proud moment of becoming part of the Emirates Group with their families and friends and social media. With that, thank you so much for your attention. Stay tuned for much more to come, and I'm wishing you a great summit. Thanks.
Wow, that was amazing, right? Well, as they say at Emirates, fasten your seatbelts. Let's make every moment count for this day and create something super remarkable together. We have an incredible selection of lightning talks and workshops for you and sessions, so please take full advantage of the demos, the technical people you have here. You're going to hear from Kareem. You're going to hear from Rackbank. You've heard from Emirates, and there are many, many more. Don't miss Werner's fireside chat with Dr. Najwa, and so much more. And thank you again to our sponsors and partners. Thank you for being with us today. As I said, we are deeply anchored in the Middle East, here in the UAE, and investing in your future. Let's go make customers' lives amazing together. Thank you for coming today, and have fun.